Hello, and welcome to Afternoon Tea with Karen. Today, I'm going to react to types of men who are into trans women and on Trans Girls Guide to Hookups.
I have a lot of trans women and trans friends out there who always tell me that like he might make me feel like I'm a secret, but at the same time he only see me for who I am. When you're allowing the wrong man in your space, you're letting them taking so much space for someone's good and deserving. I want to tell all of my trans sister, stop giving these men access to our world, to our bodies. These men don't deserve you. If they only objectifying you and seeing you as some sort of fantasy, they're never gonna make their relationship with you a reality. Hello everyone, my name is Vicky. Welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is one of the most requested topic that I should talk about on my channel, which I'm also very familiar with. It is about the types of men that are into trans women. Now from my experience, my humble experience, I would say that all men are into trans women. Is that too controversial?
We are going to pretend we didn't hear that.
If the world was perfect and society had accepted men dating trans women as a regular thing, I don't think any men would be opposing to that. But anyways, I don't want to spill all the teas yet. Let's get into the video and we'll go into every single comments that you guys have left on this topic and we can discuss it further. Now before we get into the video though, I hope that you guys enjoying your day so far. I hope that you're relaxing somewhere, sitting down, and we can go through this video together. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so this way you can see my videos as it come out. Now the first one is from Tony. Men who are comfortable in their own skin and men who think that it can have their cake and eat it too. The latter being more common. In the first group, the good-looking men for good trans women. I'm celebrating 16 years with my now retired teacher boyfriend. Well, congratulations. It might sound controversial for people to say that like, they can have their cake and eat it too, with the wife at home and all of that. I personally don't think that that's uncommon. I think that all my trans sisters out there who have dated men would know that also. Even if I was having fun, I still don't think that I want to ruin somebody else's relationship. Like, I don't know this person, I don't know this woman. Whether or not if I'm gonna end up being in a relationship with this person, I really believe in karma, and how you find them is kind of how you lose them. And this is something that I don't think just happened in the trans dating war. I think it's also happened in cis heterosexual relationship. If you give men the pass, how many of them wouldn't want their cake and eat it too? I know that we're about to tear men apart in this video, but at the same time, there are also good people out there. Let's move on. This one from Jane. Probably about as many as there are type of trans women. The problem though is that many won't be open about it because of all the social stigma surrounding trans people. The number of openly trans attracted / trans amorous men are growing though. Anything about like social issues is like the more exposure a certain subject has, there's also would be more pushback on it. Sometimes I do feel bad for, people who date trans people just because like they are going through a lot of challenges. But at the same time, whatever you're going through, the trans people or queer people or non-binary people going through it 100,000 times worse. I mean, the good thing is, like you said, Jane, the numbers are growing, but at the same time, it's not growing fast enough. I'm marrying my first love from school in a few months, and then knowingly, I didn't know that she was transgender until a couple months ago. It's like I said all the time, you can't help who you fall in love with. Congratulations, I'm happy for you.
If you're a transgender baddie and you can't find a boyfriend, I'm going to explain to you why that is and where to look to find one. So when you're transgender, you're part of a stigmatized group, and it's not enough just to be attractive. A lot of transgender people are very attractive, but you have to think about attractiveness in 3 different tiers. I'm going to tell you what those are. Tier number 1 is sexiness. Tier number 2 is aesthetic attraction. And tier number 3 is social attractiveness. A lot of transgender girls have high sex appeal. If you are being chased by some sort of transgender chaser, then you already know this. To a chaser, we are a 10. And there are a lot of chasers chasing us. People from all walks of life, from finance and engineering and politicians. We get very, very attractive men on average. Even a pretty busted transgender girl can get pretty attractive guys. Aesthetic attractiveness is the type of attractiveness that most of us are talking about when we talk about beauty. Again, a lot of transgender people are high on aesthetic attractiveness, but you can be aesthetically attractive and not have high sex appeal. Even though I think this is complete BS, I think a lot of guys would say that a lot of older women have a regal, aesthetic, attractive beauty, but they're not necessarily sexually attracted to them. Of course, you could say that about a child too. You could say a child is really aesthetically good looking, but obviously the sex appeal factor is going to be at a 0. Unless you're Donald Trump talking about Ivanka. Anyways, like I said, a lot of transgender girls are both aesthetically beautiful and have high sex appeal. A lot of transgender girls have super high sex appeal and are not aesthetically beautiful, and they can all get guys. But the social appeal is the thing that people don't really understand. Your social attractiveness is determined by the tribe of the people who are observing you. So, one of the videos I made earlier this year is about finance bro Chad, which is an archetype that always comes and tries to have relations with transgender women. If the finance bro is in his 20s, then his tribe is his fellow friends. Now you have to think about what kind of jokes these boys make in their spare time when nobody is watching. A lot of them are good people, but they make racially insensitive jokes, they make homophobic jokes, and of course, they make jokes about transgender people. People are not going to date somebody who their community is making fun of, and therein lies the problem. It's the same problem that a lot of fat women have. A lot of fat women are aesthetically beautiful, a lot of fat women have high sex appeal, but there is a stigma which makes their social attractiveness to the eye of the beholder low. Just a common sense rule is that if your social group or friends or family look down upon a type of person or make fun of them, then you're probably not going to date them. I see this a lot in leftist spaces. Like if you are a leftist and you run with a leftist crowd and then one of your friends is dating a Republican, well, you're going to look down upon them and you're going to stigmatize them and you're going to socially punish them, right? So this sort of social attractiveness factor is a factor for a lot of different groups. I think my work in this world is to elevate the consciousness of people, especially as it pertains to transgender people. That's probably going to take, I don't know, a quarter of a lifetime to get all the way right. And we're seeing really great results right now, but we're not quite there yet. And that explains to me why a lot of transgender women are single. It's because of the stigma.
In today's video, I am back sooner than expected, and I'm going to be doing a video on a trans girl's guide to hookups, sleeping with people, one night stands. It's going to be kind of like different because like, yeah, you can do like, everyone knows, I think, how to like sleep with like people and how to like flirt, I think. But yeah, it's kind of like different if you're like me and transgender. So hooking up is fun. Hooking up is great. It's very, very liberating and just gratifying, especially for people like me. That acceptance, that instant dopamine hit, that arousal, that orgasm. So yeah, basically how I find and how I navigate in this world is that it's no stranger that I'm very, very passing. You might not think so, but I've lived a life where I believe I am, and other people think so too, the ones that I've met. So yeah, so for me it's relatively easy, but we're gonna focus on how to secure that, basically how to ensure that you will get that hookup that you deserve because you're a hottie, a baddie, a bad bitch. So for my trans people out there, I will explain to you the art and the game. It kind of is a game of seduction, enticing people, etc, etc. So if you the woman is trying to like get sexual, then that's already kind of easy because most men just want that, unless they state it from the offset that they just want a serious relationship. But even then, some men just use that as a ploy to entice women to sleep with them and then just run away because some women just want a relationship. It's reverse psychology, it's fucked up, but some men say that just to sleep with women. So yeah, it's the world we live in today, basically. So yeah.
And some men say they just want to have sex with you, and the next thing you know, they're fishing with your dad. Okay, a bit of a reaction. So, once society changes, so heteronormal men will embrace trans women. Thank you, 70s feminists, for the equal pay and bank loan thing, but can you F off with this woman is a social construct thing? Women constructed society around them as they went along. So did men, but they weren't in the previous sentence. And John Money, the Rhymer twins fame, yes, that guy, he came up with gender roles, the stuff you act to be like a man or a woman, actions and ornamentation. If any of these lovely ladies stepped on a landmine, they would be scraping up a man and plastic bits. Speaking of,
Thank you. Photo taken? Girl, this is what I have been working with. Hello?
I don't see any huge changes, to be honest.
New passport. Let's see. Show me an F for female. Show me an F for female. F for female! Woohoo! And I look pretty good. This is the biggest weight lifted off my shoulders. I would like to thank the US government for allowing me to do this. And to all those people that call me a man, well, you can take that up with the Department of Social Security because my passport says otherwise.
so if the plane explodes and Dylan's dick's blown off, and they only have her passport to go by, they won't go look for it, and she'll lose her dick. Anyway, maybe they should have an extra bit on the passport for bits added on later. That's enough, isn't it? See you later, bye.